So one
Nikki, can you
fourth
stay
is
up here?
0.25. We thought of it as decimals, and then one half
Sure.
is 0.5.
Would you write that? So Nikki, you're actually a teacher right now, but, so Elizabeth?
Repeat what you said, Elizabeth.
Okay, so 1/4 is 0.25, because we thought about this as well.
Okay. Right here?
Mm-hmm. And 1/2 is 0.5. And 1/3 is 0.333. Well, yeah, 0.33, we'll just say. So the difference between 0.25 and 0.33 is smaller than the difference between 0.33 and 0.5.
So would you say, how much closer is 1/3 to 1/4 than to 1/2? Just this is a thinking question right now. Because now you've convinced me it's closer, but how, like,
It's half the distance. 1/4 to 1/3.
Veronica?
If you use a common denominator of 12, I think it helps to see the space that's between the 1/3 and the 1/2. So we can change 1/4 to a denominator of 12, an equivalent fraction of 3/12.
Allison, I think you were going here too. Were you going here? Because Stephanie was going here. So I already knew who I was going to call on because I was able to watch what you had written down. And so Stephanie was in the bag, and Allison, you were working that table, so I thought you were going to go here with this. Okay, so Veronica.
And then using that same idea of equivalent fractions, we now have 4/12 with the 1/3.
Oh. Just cover up the, oh, no, I don't want to, I'll get it.
1/2 is 6/12. And what's missing here, if we're looking at the progression, is 5/12, and they would all be evenly spaced. So if we're parking things on the clothesline, it'd be easy to say, boom, boom, boom.
Allison, what were you going to say?
I did the subtraction of the decimal. So I did it was 8/100ths with the repeating piece in there. And then I did 5/10 minus 0.3 repeating, which was 0.16 with the repeating 16/100ths. And so it's twice the distance.
The decimals kind of muddy it up just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah, but it was close
Mhm.
enough that I right to say it's about twice the distance.
But the fractions really convinced me that 1/3 is closer to 1/4, and it's half, what did you say, half the distance?
Yeah, it's half the distance from 1/4 to 1/3.
And either one makes an argument. A couple of things that I did with this, the first time I did it, I didn't put 0 and 1. I said you could use the 0 and 1. I have extra cards made up. And what I found is it teed off everybody to put the 0 and the 1. If you're going to do fractions on a number line, the most important two numbers that you have to have is 0 and 1, because that defines the unit. That's the most important. So when you made me stand like this, that's the unit. And that when you do fractions on a number line, you have to have 0 and 1. So when I walked around, if you didn't specifically say 0 and 1, that was like that helped me know what something about what you did, because you have to really realize that 0 and 1. Now you might go, "That's me." It doesn't really matter. It's not about you anyway. So it's really about if you didn't. So one thing, a place for people to learn a little bit more is 0 and 1 can be anywhere. And what happens the first time when you do the number line, it's the endpoints. So a lot of times kids will come up here, and this happened to me last night, and a lot of other times, is they'll put 0 right on that closed end and that 1, and that's where it has to go. And I want you to feel flexible. So one thing I saw over here with Anna, they had 0 and 1 at the ends, and they say, no, I can put 1 halfway between, and then they redid it. It was really cool. They said, I'm flexible with my 0 and 1. So that's why my first time through, or second time through, I put the 0 and 1 on there and said, here the 0 and 1. And I lost that learning opportunity. I took that away from you. but not you, but somebody else. And so now the 0 and 1, I want you to place it, be flexible anywhere it goes.